Oh, hi! I am Mark. Welcome to a new episode of Let's Study English 101. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 valuable tips I personally use to reinforce the learning of the target language in a school setting. Let's get started. Throughout the years, educators and linguists have been constantly contributing significant efforts about language acquisition and learning. It results to an ever-changing curriculum which offers a holistic approach towards the development of the learners. In this regard, it is the responsibility of the school and its stakeholders to endeavor for the best interest of the students. As a teacher, I stand in a firm belief that language learners can learn at an optimum level when the approach to be utilized will be focused on the practice of the target language inside and outside the classrooms. This is true especially so that educational landscape has changed in the advent of the K-12 program, where educators face a greater challenge in delivering the instruction the best way possible. Thus, I humbly present 5 ways I personally employ in my classroom as to how the concepts of language learning and language acquisition can be applied in the school setting. Let's take a look at this example. First, enhance interactive student activities.
One of the most practical yet effective strategy a teacher can employ in an English language classroom is to conduct performance tasks. The communicative approach is highly effective since the students get to practice the target language in real time and without any apprehensions. In addition, I practice another method called gamification in these activities to make it more engaging to the learners. Gamification has something to do with the application of game-like principles and concepts into classroom activities. In general, it is noticeable that students get hooked easier and make them interested more in the lesson. Thus, an active classroom with students who are participating in every discussion is the ultimate goal of enhanced interactive activities, so as the learners will have more time to speak and practice.
Second, utilization of vivid media.
In the advancement of the current technology, gone are the days when teachers heavily rely on manila papers and pure discussion. As an educator in the 21st century, I use the current technology itself in my classes to make learning fun and engaging. There are lots of available resources and materials online which can greatly help educators in teaching the target language, which is English. Say for instance, video tutorials and audiobooks can be used so that students can have exposure in the language from native speakers. In this case, the classroom will become more dynamic and interesting since it is audiovisual learning. A complementary task after the exposure is indeed an imperative. Thus, employing this kind of strategy in the classrooms can make language concepts into a more vivid and dynamic learning key.
Third, use of language in the school setting.
Sir, sir, can we ask,
Of course.
when we're going to perform our acapella?
Oh, that will be next week.
But do we still have our ILS for
Yes, of course.
The spectrum of the learning content of a language curriculum is holistic, and so should the teacher's approaches and methodologies. As to how I understand it, it is not solely the responsibility of English teachers to hone the learners to become proficient in the language, but everyone in the school setting has a part to take in making sure that the learners will make it to the desired level of proficiency. In our school, for example, since our proactive principal recognizes the language concerns among students, he implemented an English speaking day for all senior high school teachers and tertiary professors in the different departments. The goal of this program is for every teacher and student to use the English language as the medium of communication except for Filipino subjects. The program is extended for the staff, and therefore they are required to make use of the English language as the primary language for school transactions. As how I see it, this is one of the best illustrations how everyone in the school setting work hand in hand in accomplishing a common goal.
Fourth, use of language in extracurricular activities.
The practice of the target language must also extend to school programs and activities where students actively participate. As educators, we should also seize the opportunities where students can demonstrate language concepts they learn in classroom into actual applications like being a master of ceremony in a school program, theater adaptations, English transactions for student booths, and the like. I deem these opportunities necessary for the growth and development of the learners in general. First, the students who are using the target language in real-time environment calls for a challenge and will make them realize the process which they need to adapt in time. The organization of thoughts, the correct choice of words, the manner how it must be said, and so on. Second, the teachers must be keen observers as to what the students need to focus on, what were the common mistakes, tips on dealing with different circumstances, among others. Therefore, it is advantageous that we take every opportunity where our learners can apply or demonstrate their skill thus far in using the English language.
Number 5. Conducting a speech power class.
Most of the time, we are in a situation where students are having difficulty in learning the English language. We feel that some of students were products of mass promotion, and there you are, the said students are seated in your classroom. In this regard, the institution can come up with a departmentalized program to assist those students in need. A speech power class is a form of remediation for students who really have hard time in English, or perhaps these are students with poor language foundation. Our school, for instance, dedicates 13 sessions program intended for students who got a poor evaluation in the English proficiency assessment. They will undergo video aided instruction and they also need to comply with the requirements needed per session. Thus, the supervising remedial teacher must record the progress of each student in the class. At the end of the sessions, the students must once again take the English proficiency assessment to evidently see if they have really progressed or not. Therefore, I believe that having these measures can bring difference in our students because just like what Thomas Jefferson once said, if you want something you have never had, you must be willing to do something you have never done. If we, educators, want to achieve something for the benefit of the students, then we must not always be conventional, but instead have a radical mind to do something we have never done yet. A vital call to action indeed.
Well, that concludes the episode for today. I hope that you have learned something from my insights, and I'm looking forward that you'll be able to use these tips in your respective classrooms. Until the next episode of Let's Study English 101. Once again, this is Sir Mark, and saying thank you.